scared for? Don't you know that we have nothing to fear about in this world? We can be, do, and have anything we want. Come on, come with me. Forget fear. Look, by the end of this video, you will know how to punch fear in the face and never let it tie you down ever again. DJ, drop the beat. Welcome back to another video, BLivers. This one is juicy. But hey, before we start here, if you are new here, I am Elizabeth, and here on this channel, we are all about designing a life through conscious creation. So if you about that life, drop a comment saying what's up and smash the subscribe button with the bell notification. That way you're updated anytime I bring a video to you. All right, so this one is very simple, but it's a complex topic, right? So the tactics to do it are very simple, but I get it. There's fear about so many different topics, but do not worry. Stick with me to the end of this video, because if you have any questions at all, and I'm probably going to answer them throughout, this thing. But if not, drop them in the comments. And by the end of this video, you will have everything you need to know. Doesn't matter if it's fear about finances, fear about love, fear about just like scary shit, like anything that scares you, brings you fear, induces fear into your body. You'll know how to punch it in the face. So not that you're just like happy and feeling confident, but knowing that this thing no longer actually triggers you. So diving into number one, I'm gonna give you guys 3 easy tools that you can always use with your brain and body. Because remember, I'm not gonna give you a bunch of tools that you have to need X, Y, and Z. You can do everything with just your mind and body. So remember that, and let's dive in, right? So number one, the very first thing you want to do whenever you realize that, oh my God, I'm in fear, you, just like any other emotion, you want to realize that, hey, this is merely a signal. It's not something I have to be in. It is a signal. So when we realize that it is a signal, we can dive into what this means for us and shift our focus. Because there's nothing you can line, like I always like to say, you can line 100 people up and you can very well, we all know that they would have a slightly different opinion as to if that's scary, if that's not scary, and just what that really means for someone. So you decide, you put the meaning on what is scary. Like it's your perception on that thing, right? Everyone has a different meaning. They're all seeing the same thing, but they have a different meaning. So you want to shift your focus first and foremost, decide that this is a different meaning for you, whether it's fearful over anything, right? So I'm gonna give an example of money, because I feel like money is a topic that a lot of people are always like, oh my God, about, right? Not knowing that this universe is absolutely abundant, right? But I understand there's lots of reasons why you could be very fearful of, all these financial reasons. So, oh my gosh, I'm fearful. I don't think I'm going to have enough money for X, Y, and Z. So instead of being fearful, number one, you want to, okay, this is just a signal. What am I fearful of? Oh, I'm being fearful of not being able to pay X, Y, Z on time. Then I want to shift my focus, because I want to ask myself, like, is that really true, or am I just being worried about it? Like, isn't it possible? Don't I live in a universe of infinite realities? Isn't it possible for me to do a million different things to bring abundance, bring cash flow into my life on time? Yes, absolutely it is. But when we're so caught up in the fear, we're not believing that. We're not seeing that, because we are so predominantly focused on the lack of it. And what do we get when what do we get? We get what we focus on. So if you're worried, you're fearful, you're creating more of that, and realize that this is just a signal. All we have to do is first shift our focus on whatever it is, because it's not true. Nothing's real. The only thing's real is what you put it on. So what's the meaning we're putting behind things? That's number one. And that one's really key. If you can shift your focus, change your associations with the meanings you're putting on things, that will eliminate fear forever. All these things will eliminate fear forever, but this one's really simple and overlooked. So that's why it is number one, and that's why I crammed it in there. Number two is realizing that fear is not necessary to be in. Just like number one, it's just a signal. So when we choose to stay in fearful mode, we are choosing to create more of that. Realize that I'm going to talk about the law of duality a lot in this video, because everything is merely two things. There's nothing technically really bad, and there's nothing technically good. So there's nothing technically to be fearful about, and there's technically nothing to get excited about, right? It's only what we decide we want for ourselves and what we are choosing to focus on. So if everything's really two things, which the law of duality states that in order for anything to come into reality, two equal opposite energies have to come together in creation, like the yin and yang, masculine and feminine, that type of thing, dark and light. we want to realize that whatever we're fearful of is also an opportunity. It's also something for us to thrive over, but we can't get out of that state whenever we don't do number one first. We don't shift our focus and ask ourselves, is this really true? How can I not be afraid of this? Or how can I solve this? Asking ourselves the good questions. And I want to catch myself. I just said, how can I not be afraid of this? You never want to use the words that you are trying to get away from, because your brain is picking up on like the keywords you're saying. So don't be like, how can I not be afraid? You want to ask yourself, like, how can I get excited? Where's the opportunity? Where can I see if you really value like security? Like, where is the security in this? Where can I create security in this? If you're not already seeing it, like, where can I create? That's an even better question. So you want to, number two, realize that fear is not necessary to be in, and that fear itself is merely a myth. Everything is fake and everything is real. You know, going back to the law of duality, it's only what you're choosing to focus on that then becomes of your reality. Realize that law of oneness, I'm gonna throw a bunch of laws at you guys actually so you understand this. Everything's already done. Law of the universe states that, law of oneness states that everything's already done. Everything is merely energy. It's just in different expressions of each other. Law of correspondence states that there's infinite realities going on all at once. And whatever we perceive is what we are resonating with internally through our perception, through our programming, through our values, our beliefs, and what we're choosing to focus on. So if everything's already done, it's just a matter of shifting our focus. Why would we ever choose to remain in fear? Now I get it, because a lot of it seems reasonable. Like, oh my God, if I don't be in fear, like I'm not going to be either driven, or how could I not be afraid, right? Blah, blah, blah. So these are these are valid questions, but they're not that valuable because they're not shifting your focus into aligning yourself with the reality you want, because that's all merely you have to do. I understand that things could be real to you right now and you might have a real reason to freak out and do XYZ over it, but realize that you do not have to. And the second you shift your focus and what you're choosing to focus on and asking yourself the good questions to get solutions to what it is you want and focusing in on your target, you begin to literally link up with that reality. You start perceiving opportunities that you didn't know were right in front of your face. And the whole time, since we're talking about money, it could be about relationships too. You could realize that there was, your lover all of a sudden just always there. You're like, oh my God, how did I never notice this person? Or you just run into someone, right? So it's all about using these laws of creation, recognizing that our emotions are merely a signal. We don't have to ever stay in the states, and we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to feel anything less than our highest self, other than for when we want to experience contrast, to be a conscious creator, to level up. So contrast, things that are bad, are never meant to keep us in a bad state. That's the only reason why bad things happen. It's so we can be like, I don't want that. Let me create something out of this. Okay? So realize, number two, that you don't have to ever stay in fear, and you're not supposed to. So, and then number three, this is going back, and this is the last one. This is going back to the law of duality. So I'm also writing another book on, because this concept is really powerful, guys. It's like chemistry, right? Well, you don't know yet. I haven't said it, but it's like chemistry in a sense where, or math, when you have, like you put in two equal opposites and they cancel out, they become neutral. Acid and alkaline, they make neutral. Negative plus positive, it becomes neutral. -2. So anyways, so law of duality, we can apply this law to create change in our lives. And I'm writing another book on, because we're about to release the Reinvent Yourself, but I'm use this on even health. I know we started talking about money, but I feel like this, when people are fearful of maybe say the corona, right? It's actually impossible. I'm writing a book called Heal Yourself, because it's impossible for you to get sick even if you contract a disease. You cannot die from anything. This sounds fucking crazy. That's why I'm writing a book, because I can't explain it all in one little video. But whatever you focus on, you literally shift into that reality, right? So there's you being very, very, very sick is the same as you being very, very, very healthy. It's just what you're focusing on and what you're choosing to resonate internally, what frequency your personal vibration is on. So when we look at the opposite of fear, what is the opposite of fear to cancel this thing out? It's faith. If you knew what you wanted was coming, Why would you ever be afraid? If you knew you could never be truly harmed, why would you ever be afraid? If you knew, exactly, if you knew you were ever, just those two things, I almost like kept going on, but that says it all. Like if you knew you were always gonna get what you wanted, you knew you'd never be harmed, and everything was always good, there would be no reason for fear ever, right? And that's truth. So what we have to focus on, what we have to embrace the emotion on in order to cancel fear out is focus and strengthen our relationship with our personal faith. Like, and this could be taken in many ways. This could be if you're very, very religious, it could be praying to X, Y, and Z. It could be, having gained faith back in yourself, gained in the universe, like whatever it is with you, it doesn't matter. It can be anything, because I know there's people watching this with all different types of views, but realize faith itself is the same. It's all one, period. That's why I talk about science on this channel, because spirituality is a very broad subject, right? But science is fundamental through everything. These fundamentals are the same no matter what you believe in, right? So we can all apply this no matter what. So faith is fundamental. It is literally the absolute opposite of fear. So when you embrace that, you cancel out. You can't feel two opposite emotions, and you can't experience two opposite realities at once. You have to literally shift your focus. You have to literally start resonating on a different frequency, guys. So let me know in the comments which one of these three really stuck home to you guys. Share this with someone who has been freaking out over stuff that they shouldn't be freaking out about, which is basically the entire freaking world living in fear right now. And also give this a big fat thumbs up so it adds value back to me if you thought that you got value out of this, that we can help grow together. That's all I'm asking from you guys from this video. And as always, guys, dream big, live large, and be live. Love you guys so much.